DC is finally bringing Lobo to the big screen. Recently, it was confirmed that actor Jason Momoa will portray Lobo in James Gunn's DCAU, making his debut in the Supergirl movie set for release in 2026. Lobo's presence in the DCAU is fantastic, and I believe most of you watching this video agree that he's a character that fits Momoa perfectly. But did you know that Lobo has had some crazy team-ups and crossovers in the comics and animations? He has been part of hero teams and everything. There are crossovers here that I guarantee you never saw coming. Stick around to the end of this video, as I'll be sharing 11 crossovers Lobo has had in the comics and animations. Let's go! Welcome to Comic Chronicles. Lobo is the last alien of his race. His nickname is the Main Man, and he's given a lot of headaches to DC heroes. If you want to know all about Lobo before the character hits theaters, click on the card appearing on your screen. It's a comprehensive video covering everything essential about this character. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. DC is coming in hot this year with lots of releases, including comics, animations, and even films, and I'll be bringing videos on all of it, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated. Thank you, and let's get into the video's topic. 1. Lobo and Judge Dredd. Lobo is an ultra-violent space criminal, while Judge Dredd is an equally ultra-violent futuristic cop. This makes for a perfect combination in the action and sci-fi universe. Lobo/Judge Dredd is a wild adventure across dimensions, where the main man teams up with one of the toughest law enforcers in all of fiction. They encounter each other when mutants with dimension-traveling belts start fighting for control over ancient artifacts. The two protagonists end up with a common enemy, and surprisingly, their partnership works. 2. Lobo and Batman. That's right folks, this crossover with The Dark Knight happened, and not just once. The miniseries titled Deadly Serious brought about a forced partnership. The first Lobo and Batman crossover occurred on a dangerous day in Gotham. With Lobo being a threat, and Bruce Wayne powerless against the Zarnian strength, Deadly Serious started with inevitable hostility. When Batman was abducted to a ship where Lobo was hunting a target, they were forced to collaborate to escape captivity. 3. Lobo and Deadman. In this comic, Lobo received a contract for 1 million credits to capture Boston Brand, better known as Deadman, an acrobat who was murdered at the height of his career and returned as a ghost to haunt the earth in search of justice. Lobo made a violent landing on a beach in California, determined to complete the mission, but it wasn't long before Deadman took control of Lobo's body and used his space bike to track down who put the bounty on his head. Eventually, the duo arrives at Apocalypse, where Lobo fights off Deadman's control, captures him, and turns him in. However, when the main man became a ghost, Deadman had to possess Lobo's bike to save the day, wrapping up this chaotic supernatural adventure. 4. Lobo and Etrigan. Yes, this crossover has occurred multiple times, and in the special Lobo/Demon Hello, just like classic crossovers, they start off facing each other but later team up to fight a cosmic dragon that nearly devours the planet. The duo destroys it from the inside out. It would be awesome to see these two characters interact in theaters or in animation, don't you think? 5. Lobo and Lanterns. This crossover took place in the comics of the alternate universe of Injustice 2, where Superman turned evil. With a Green Lantern ring and total freedom to use it, Lobo took down the Red Lantern Atrocitus, simply using pure green willpower. 6. Lobo and Mask. I'm sure everyone here knows The Mask from Jim Carrey's movie or even the old animated series, right? The Mask also exists in the comics. He's a character from Dark Horse, and in the comics, he's entirely different from Jim Carrey's version and even the animation I mentioned. In the comics, he is one of the most violent and absurd characters, so naturally, all that craziness would mesh well with Lobo. When he and Lobo inadvertently teamed up to hunt themselves, it resulted in the destruction of an entire solar system and an infected Lobo who became unstoppable. 7. Lobo and Guy Gardner. Once again crossing over with the Green Lanterns, this time it happened in the comic Guy Gardner Reborn, where Guy, who at the time was no longer a Green Lantern because Hal Jordan had taken his ring, needed Lobo's help to face some Cordians and score a Yellow Lantern ring. This story is a fun one, and knowing that both Guy and Lobo are part of James Gunn's DCAU, it's hard not to imagine these two crossing paths at some point. I wouldn't say that's impossible, and I'll explain why in the next crossover on the list. 8. Justice League International. That's right, Lobo has been part of the Justice League International for a while. In the story, Lobo was hired by Manga Khan, an intergalactic broker known for selling used cars from the galaxy, to take down the newly formed Justice League International. Lobo then meets the League and pretends to want to help them, acting as an ally while waiting for them to lower their guard, but before he could act, Manga Khan cancelled his contract. However, it was through this encounter with the League that Lobo and Guy Gardner met. The two have had their fights but have also teamed up. Now I'll ask you, do you think this is impossible to happen in James Gunn's DCU? Notice that in the DCU, some already confirmed heroes are part of the Justice League International formation, and folks, the tone of the JLI stories aligns perfectly with what James Gunn likes to do. In the Superman trailer, it was confirmed that Guy Gardner and other heroes would be part of Lord Tech, which is Maxwell Lord's company. In the comics, Maxwell Lord funds the Justice League International himself. Now I ask you again, do you think this is impossible to happen in James Gunn's DCU? 9. Justice League of America. Yes, another iteration of the League that Lobo was part of in the comics. This version emerged after the Justice League vs. Suicide Squad saga, and even though Lobo despised the Justice League and considered them just a bunch of idiots, everything changed when a few zeros were added to his paycheck. In this League formation, Batman needed powerful heroes without significant loyalty ties, but he could manipulate. Lobo may seem like a strange choice, but he is completely true to his word, and Bruce Wayne is one of the few people on Earth with enough money and resources to interest the main man in a long-term position. 10. Superman, Man of Tomorrow. In the first animation of the disastrous Tomorrowverse, which was filled with poor animations, this is a case of an animation that is average. In Superman, Man of Tomorrow, Lobo comes to Earth because there's a bounty on Superman. They fight, and during the scuffle, Martian Manhunter shows up. The three end up teaming up to face the villain Parasite, who has grown to the size of a kaiju, making this the crossover of the last three survivors of their respective races. Lobo not only participated in this animation with Superman but also appeared in Superman, the animated series. 11. Justice League Animation. Yes, folks, another crossover with the Justice League to close out this list, but in this case, we're talking about two excellent episodes called Hereafter, which is a two-part episode. Superman is temporarily declared dead, and suddenly, after hearing that the Man of Steel has died, Lobo invades the Watchtower and offers to be the new leader of the team. Of course, the League doesn't accept this partnership easily, but eventually, they ended up needing the main man's help until Superman returns and Lobo gets kicked out of the team. These are great episodes, and Lobo's interaction with the League has some funny moments too. Now it's time for you to comment, did you know all these crossovers? Which one do you think was the craziest? I'd pick the Lobo and The Mask crossover, what about you? Did any crossover get left out of this list? Comment down below, hit that sphere, and subscribe to our channel. Also, turn on notifications because I'll be bringing more videos with lots of news from the DCU, and I'm sure you don't want to miss out. Be sure to check out these two videos. The first is a comprehensive overview of everything involving Lobo in just a few minutes, a great video to quickly get all the essentials. The other features all the details surrounding Jason Momoa's casting as Lobo. I guarantee you'll enjoy it. Thank you very much, and see you next time.